Hello, this is my book haul for the last week of May. And rather amazingly, this will be my fourth book haul video covering books I acquired during May. And I'm going to start off with this book, a B format copy of The Rift by Nina Allen. When I saw this, it had just been put into the remaindered box at £1. So I thought I should get. Rather annoyingly, when I removed the charity shop labels, the gift aid label and the pricing label, I found it had got a big X through the barcode on the bottom of the back cover. But that apart is in practically as new condition. It's the first book I've got by Nina Allen. This has had some positive critical reviews and did win the BSFA award for Best Novel in 2017. And it is science fiction based, so I think it could be a good acquisition. For those of you who don't know, Nina Allen was married to Christopher Priest a few months before he died, and when I looked up about her on Wikipedia, I noticed that marriage was not mentioned, though it was on Christopher Priest's page. So that's the first book that I'm going to show you. Next, I'm going to show you this one. Still got a label to remove. Even the Darkest Stars by Heather Fawcett. Again, I had to look her up on Wikipedia to find out anything about her. Apparently she's a Canadian author, and it's basically fantasy. I've still got a label to remove, but otherwise this is pretty much in mint condition. Not certain whether I would have bothered, but it is signed, or at least it has a signed book plate stuck in. This is a second printing, and I've seen other copies on eBay that are signed second printings. So whether there were signed first printings around or not, I don't know. But I've never read anything by her. She has gone on to write another 4 or 5 books. So for £1, I thought that was reasonable. Next, I'm going to talk about the shop that I've mentioned previously that does paperbacks 3 for £1 and hardbacks 2 for £1. And when I went in there, I saw this. Kim Stanley Robinson Aurora. First printing in pretty much mint condition. Now, 3 for £1. I couldn't see anything else I really wanted. So I asked how much they charged, and it was £1 whether I wanted 1 or 3. So I forced myself back and carried on looking. And can I say, I do have a signed hardback of Aurora, but I do not have the paperback. So I got some more books, and I'll show you them. In fact, I'm not going to show you them individually. L.J. Smith from the Vampire Diaries. 4 of them. So I got 6 altogether from that shop. So it cost me £2. 4 of these are first printings in pretty much immaculate unread condition. And I got a reprint of books 1 and 2. So I could start reading if I want and see whether I like her. Now, L.J. Smith has written lots of books. Anyone, certainly in the UK, who goes around the charity shops will frequently see copies of her books. So she's obviously read quite a lot, but not collected. I don't know why that should be the case. Probably meant to appeal to a female audience or maybe a horror audience, I don't know. But she doesn't seem to be collected. As far as I'm aware, she's written 3 series. The Vampire Diaries, that one goes up to 11, and I think there are more. There's Night World, which was a series of 9 books. And a few years ago, I picked up all the early first Hodder paperback printings of that series. And they were in nice condition, relatively collectible. But if you look on Bookfinder these days, there are multiple copies of all of them available. They're not necessarily in brilliant condition. And she also wrote a trilogy called, I assume it's a trilogy, called Secret Circle. So she's written a lot of books. So that covers that. Finally, next I'm going to show you some books that I got from eBay, or ordered via eBay. Not in the last one, but in my video from the first 3 weeks of May, I showed you 4 NEL Master SF books that I'd found in a charity shop for £2 each. And I had a look on eBay and I found another lot, so I've ordered 5. And so maybe I will go about collecting. And I know I already had 1, so that means I've got 10 of what I think is 15 books in this series. So I'll briefly show you the ones. And that is Lieutenant Gulliver Jones, His Vacation by Edwin Lester Arnold. As you can see, very nice condition. Not perfect, but definitely very VG plus in my view. And there's this one, The Strange Invaders by Alan Llewellyn. Again, very nice condition. These 5 were all in very nice condition. Next one, The Mind of Mr. Soames by Charles Eric Maine. The next one, No Man Friday by Rex Gordon. Now I did have this title in an American edition, but I didn't have the Master SF edition, so I got that. The last one, Other Worlds by Cyrano de Bergerac. Again, lovely condition. So that means I got 10 out of 15, and I suppose that probably means I will look for the other 5. Perhaps not over enthusiastically, but it would be nice to have the whole set and keep it as a set on the shelves. And finally, the last book I'm going to show you, I'm going to start by showing you the rear of the dust jacket. It's that. And I do wonder how many, if anyone saw this, would know if it was science fiction or fantasy or whatever it might be, and what the title might be. And I'm going to show you, it's this, it's The Borribles by Michael de Larrabate. Now, he's an English author. This was written in the 70s, mid-70s I believe, and it's an interesting book, although I haven't read it, but it seems some people consider it quite highly. Sorry, that's the receipt. This one, I was mixed feelings because what it's got on the front, the inside of the cover and the first page, and the second page is a lot of signatures by what I assume are children. So why they were encouraged to do that, I do not know. But the reason I decided to go for it anyway is because it's signed by Michael de Larrabate. Now, firstly, can I say I've never seen the hardcover before, and when I researched it, there seemed to be only a few signed Michael de Larrabate books around, and none in the Borribles series. So I am denied. It cost me £5. It's got a bit of wear, tops of and the bottom, but generally it's in nice condition. apart from all those kids' signatures. I don't know what the story is to that. There's nothing there to give an indication. But I thought I would get it. When I researched Michael de Larrabate, he grew up, I think, in London. And indeed, for a while, he worked at a local library only just over a mile from where I live. So I found that interesting. And also, something I hadn't perhaps realised, there's a map of sort of South London, and I'm probably just off the bottom of this map in terms of where I live, somewhere down here. So I thought that was quite interesting. Basically, I was curious as to when I first bought a Borrobles book, and I've had a look back, and I know the first Borrobles book I bought was just after the turn of the millennium, because it's on my book list for 2003, and that was a second Ace printing. And over the years I tried to collect the rest of the trilogy, and it took forever. I think I completed the 3 as a mixed set, both English and American editions, while the Fantasy Centre was still running. And then finally, about 1 to 2 years ago, maybe even last year, I picked up the complete set in Piccolo editions, or rather I completed it. So now I have 3 Piccolo editions. One could do with a bit of upgrading. And I've got 2 of the 3 Ace editions. So it is a relatively difficult set to collect. Now what you may gather is it's probably young adult to some extent. But what I will do is quote from an article by China Mayville. And he's talking about this book. There are books we like, and books we love, and books we need. And then there are books that mean so much to us that they embed themselves in us irresistibly and become permanent parts of our mental landscape. Ever since I first read it aged 11, The Borrobles has been such a book for me. Michael de Larrabate's stunning trilogy, put simply, comprises 3 of my very, very favourite books ever. I am deeply honoured to introduce them. May they mean as much to you as they do to me. Now, as far as I'm aware, that set has always been considered collectible. I haven't read them, so I cannot comment about the books themselves, the stories themselves. But I was pleased to pick up that signed first UK edition. When I looked at entries on Wikipedia, they said that the book had been a major influence of those authors who were considered to be in the new weird area. Now, I don't like using terms like new wave or new weird or any other of these terms that try and divide up the genre. But it appears to have been an important and perhaps influential book. Please put something in the comments if you agree with me, and if you know why the back cover has what might be graffiti or whatever. What does the RJ Wacho have any specific meaning? Does it relate to a character in the book, or is it related to something totally different? So I'd quite like to know. So please put something in the comments if you're aware. Thank you, that's all.